Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Yes, back-to-back days of Oriole uploads, and today we have Game 163 of the regular season against the Toronto Blue Jays. The MLB regular season lasts 162 games. However, both us and Toronto finished 98-64, which is tied for the best record in the American League East. And this division needs a winner, and we do not currently have one. Last episode, we went over the final series of the season, and our Orioles ended up winning 2 of 3 in Toronto to tie our records at 98-64 and bring us to this Game 163, where the winner will not only clinch the AL East, but will also clinch the number 1 overall seed in the American League. The loser is still a playoff team. They will go to the wild card game where they will host the Houston Astros. So there's still a strong chance that the winner of this game will, be in the ALDS. But both teams want to ensure that they don't have to worry about the wild card today. And obviously getting that number 1 seed is a little cherry on top. So I think this is probably the Orioles' most regular season game yet. Easily more important than the 3 games we went over last episode, which says a lot because they were Baltimore's most 3 important regular season games other than this one. But this game literally determines if the Orioles win the division or not. I think our squad is in a pretty good spot right now. We just won 2 of 3 in Toronto against the Blue Jays. The offense has been pretty solid. They haven't been great in those games, but they have done enough to help us win. And the pitching has been pretty good as well. We have a tough decision to make pitching-wise on who to start for this Game 163. In our previous game, which was played less than 24 hours ago, we started Yermán Marquez. I only pitched him 3 innings because I wanted to keep him available for this game or the wild card game if need be. So Marquez pitched 3 innings. We had Framber Valdez go 4 innings. And now I want to figure out if I should start Marquez, if I should start Tristan McKenzie, or if we should go just for a full bullpen day where it's just all relievers from start to finish. And I thought about this for quite a bit, but this is our most important game of the season, and I want our best players and our best pitchers to pitch. Yermán Marquez is our best starting pitcher. I know he just pitched yesterday. He just started that game, but he only pitched 3 innings. He only threw around 50 pitches, so I still think he has enough energy to go probably 3 or 4 innings today. His energy bar is about 3/4 of the way up, so if he pitches well and has his pitch count pretty low, I think he could go 3, 4, possibly even 5 innings if we wanted to stretch it. If he doesn't pitch well, the Orioles would be wise to take him out early. But as I like to say, big-time players perform in big-time games, and we will see how big-time Yermán Marquez is tonight as we look at both lineups. No Carmen Sixto for the Orioles. Instead, it will be Elliot Ramos. Carmen Sixto has not only hit the rookie wall, but he has crashed into the rookie wall very quickly. And he has really taken a drop in his performance, and the Orioles apparently trust Ramos more. So here is Yermán Marquez on the mound, pitching like a Cy Young this season in his most important start, maybe as an Oriole, as he walks Raimel Tapia to give Toronto an early base runner. Tapia did not start in any of the 3 games these 2 teams just played against each other, so it's interesting he's starting today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now singles into center field. Tapia on his horse to third. He's going to be safe. So already, Toronto has a couple runners on the corners, and maybe this decision to start Marquez is quickly backfiring. Austin Meadows grounds it to third. Muncy to Long to Castellanos. 5-4-3 double play. Baltimore gets out of the inning unscathed, not allowing any runs. Great job by the defense to get out of the jam. The Blue Jays are starting the lefty Jordan Montgomery, 10-10, 4.22 ERA. Pretty much average stuff, as he gets Louis St. John to strike out looking. St. John normally bats in the 3-hole. Today, he is batting second. Castellanos also moving up from the cleanup spot to third, as the Orioles are just trying to get their best hitters up a little bit earlier in the lineup. Castellanos lines out to first. Rowdy Tellez makes the play. 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Montgomery. And now we go to the second. Randy Arozarena swings way too early. He swung before that pitch was thrown. Dear Lord. Nice strikeout for Yermán Marquez. 2 away now for George Springer. Bang, bang. Do I hear a trash can in the area? I'm kidding. That wasn't a very funny joke. But Springer will ground out to second. 1-2-3 inning for Shed Lawn. maybe the decision to start Marquez on 1 day's rest isn't backfiring. He's pitched 2 fairly strong innings. Heston Kjerstad hitting cleanup today as he leads off the second. That one will bloop into left field for a base hit. Would have been an out normally, but because of the shift, it will go for a hit. That'll now bring up Xavier Bowman, the rookie, who gets that one past the diving glove of Bo Bichette for a single. And the Baltimore Orioles have 2 runners on base with how many outs? None. Well, now there's 1. As that'll bring up Max Muncy. 1-2 pitch. Grounds this one right to second. Biggio to Bichette to Tellez. And the Orioles ground into a double play of their own. So Toronto gets out of a little pickle. And this game remains tied at 0 as we go to the third. Cavan Biggio leads the inning off. He goes down on the outside slider. And German Marquez appears to be cooking right now. Was a little bit shaky in the first, but I think the Orioles definitely look like they could get 4 or 5 innings out of them. Danny Jansen, the catcher, now goes down swinging as well. Another big out for Marquez. 2 gone now for Bo Bichette. Weekly dribbles this one. Marquez will pick it up. The throw to first is offline. They're going to count that as a base hit, although Bo Bichette hit that maybe 10 feet past home plate. Bichette will extend his hitting streak, albeit on a fraudulent hit. Bichette tries to steal second, late jump from Adley Rutschman, so Bichette is able to steal pretty easily. The Blue Jays now have a runner in scoring position. A nice opportunity here for Raimel Tapia, who grounds it to first. Castellanos will tag the bag. 3 scoreless frames for Marquez. His pitch count isn't looking too bad at the moment. I think the Orioles are telling themselves they'll probably get 1 more inning out of him unless things go really sour really quick. Bottom 3, Elliot Ramos lines this one in a right center field. That'll go for a single. Ramos was dominant last year in the postseason for the Orioles, and maybe Baltimore trusts him in these big-time games over someone like Carmen Sixto, who is currently struggling. Shed Long, who hit 2 home runs in the previous game against Toronto, will ground into a double play. Another double play hit by this Baltimore offense. And through 3 innings, no runs have scored. This game remains tied at 0 into the 4th. German Marquez still in, pitching against Austin Meadows. Gets him to go down looking on the slider. Maybe Marquez will go 5 innings. He is just cruising right now through this lineup. That'll bring up Randy Arozarena. Hits this one nicely into center field for a single. Toronto's first actual hit since the first inning. I feel like Bo Bichette's bloop single that again went no more than 10 feet really should not be counted. Rowdy Tellez now up to bat. This one is lined into center field for a single. Arozarena holds up at second. Okay, with 2 outs, Toronto's offense is making things a little spicy and dicey here in this 4th inning. George Springer draws a walk. And look at that. Marquez has loaded the bases. A gigantic opportunity here for Cavan Biggio. 2-2 pitch. Hits that one high into right field. Elliot Ramos is under it. He will make the play. So the Blue Jays leave him loaded here. German Marquez gets into a little bit of a jam. It seems like he's really getting tired, so I would imagine that will end his day. 4 shutout innings. It wasn't always pretty, but he got the job done. Bottom 4, Louis St. John now up to bat. 2-2 pitch. He gets fooled by the low and inside curveball. And we're obviously talking about how Marquez is doing today, but Jordan Montgomery is also dominating. We've got ourselves an old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Full count pitch for Castellanos, and unlike Louis St. John, he does not get fooled by the pitch out of the zone. That'll be a high fastball for ball 4, and the Orioles now the base runner here for Heston Kjerstad, who went deep in Game 2 of the previous 3-game set in Toronto, and he grounds into a double play. That's the 3rd time today the Orioles have grounded into a double play. 3rd straight inning they've done that. Whenever they've gotten base runners today, they have completely failed to do anything with them. So now that Marquez is done, it's going to be down to the bullpen to keep things strong for the Orioles. Travis Lakins Sr. will enter here in the 5th as his first batter of the game. Will go down looking on strikes. That's again the catcher, Danny Jansen, for out number 1. Even with the pitching change, it feels like Lakins is picking right up where Marquez left off. Or maybe not. Bo Bichette singles into left field. His 2nd hit of the game. His first hit that, again, should actually count. So now there's a runner on base. 2 away, full count pitch for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He draws a walk. That pitch was a little bit close, but I do think it was a tad outside. I think that was probably the right call. So now 2 on, 2 outs for Meadows. Grounds it to second. Shed Long will make the play. Flips it over to the shortstop, Jalen Miller. So we're pretty much halfway through the game. Through 4 innings plus the top of the 5th. No runs. Not a ton of offense today. Jordan Montgomery still in cruise control pretty much for the Blue Jays. As with 2 away, Max Muncy hits this one high and somewhat deep into center. It will be caught by Randy Arozarena. So that is now 5 scoreless innings from both offenses. These pitchers are dominating. They are really seizing the moment. I can't really say the same about these 2 lineups. The rookie Julian Starnes will enter here in the 6th. He's 9-1. I know record doesn't really matter for pitchers, but that's pretty cool. He's 9-1, an awfully good-looking record. As his first batter of the inning, Randy Arozarena will single into right field. At least the Blue Jays are getting base hits and getting base runners. The Orioles have gotten a few base hits, but they've only grounded into double plays whenever guys have gotten on base. 1 away for Springer, singles into right. Arozarena will head to third. And the Toronto Blue Jays have runners on the corners again with 1 out. They were in this situation back in the first inning and choked. Will they choke again? Well, that's not ideal for the Blue Jays. Kevin Biggio strikes out, and now they're probably going to need a base hit to drive in those runs. It's the catcher, Danny Jansen. Grounds it to third. Max Muncy takes his time. The throw to first is in time. Another shutout inning there as Starnes does allow a couple hits, but it's all good. So it remains tied at 0 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Jalen Miller will lead things off. This one ripped down the line and fair, possibly for extra bases. This would be Baltimore's first extra base hit of the game, and indeed, Jalen Miller will slide into second head first with a double, his 25th of the year. So now the Orioles have a base runner, a huge opportunity for Elliot Ramos, who already has a base hit today. And that would have been ball 4, but he swings at the low fastball. A big strikeout for Jordan Montgomery, who's still dominating. Now Shed Lawn. That ball is crushed into right field. You can't forget about that one, seeing daylight again. 2-run homer for Shed Lawn. This kid is unbelievable. We finally have runs. It took nearly 6 innings, but guess who? It's Shed Lawn, who drove in all 5 of Baltimore's runs in yesterday's win. Of course, it's him who steps up, his 27th home run of the season, his 4th home run in the past 4 games, all of which, of course, have been against the Toronto Blue Jays. He knew that ball was gone as soon as it hit his bat, just placing it down, watching it sail into right field. Again, this kid has been a platoon player his whole career, traded to Baltimore midseason, and he's been one of this team's best contributors since. The body language from Jordan Montgomery really says it all. The manager quickly takes him out of the game. I think that's a mistake by the Toronto Blue Jays. Despite allowing the home run, I think they should have kept Jordan Montgomery in. His pitch count isn't all that high, and he's still doing really well. But despite that, there will be a new pitcher. Eric Pardinho is in for Toronto. 2 away for Castellanos. Lines this one in a left center field, but Randy Arozarena is under it. So the Blue Jays get out of the inning, but we finally have runs. A 2-run blast-off by Shed Lawn will put the Orioles up top 2-0 with 3 innings to go. Can Baltimore hold on and win what would be their 2nd straight American League East title? Alex Colomé, the savvy and reliable veteran, is in here in the 7th with an ERA just below 4, facing off against Vlad Guerrero Jr. of 2 outs. This one hit into foul territory. Elliot Ramos charging after it. He will make the play. A pretty routine 1-2-3 inning for Alex Colomé. And now Toronto's only going to have 2 more trips up to bat, and they're going to need at least 2 more runs than Baltimore gets to still have a chance. Heston Kjerstad leads off the bottom of the 7th with a mammoth shot into right field. Solo home run for Heston Kjerstad, and the former Arkansas Razorback will make it a 3-0 lead. Kjerstad with his 28th home run of the season. And remember, he was not healthy playing Major League Baseball this season until the middle of May. Imagine had he played all season, how many home runs he would have hit. Maybe 40, who knows? A couple batters later, it's now the catcher, Adley Rutschman, who hits this one high, pretty deep in a right center field. That ball is gone! What is happening? The Orioles have all of a sudden figured out how to hit. 3 home runs in the past 2 innings for the Orioles. Adley Rutschman with his 23rd home run of the season. And the former number 1 overall pick out of Oregon State will push Baltimore's lead up to 4-0. Ryan Borucki is in for Toronto as he faces off against Jalen Miller. Another one! Miller with a blast off in the left field. Again, he knew that was gone as soon as it hit his bat. nearly into the second deck, 17th on the year, and this is now a 5-0 lead for the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles have not been able to hit the ball at all through the first 5 innings, and all of a sudden, something just clicked, and they now lead 5-0 with 4 home runs in the past 2 innings. Amir Garrett checks in the 8th as Rowdy Tellez opens things up with a single. So pretty much Toronto needs 5 against likely Garrett in the 8th and Edwin Diaz in the 9th. So pretty much the 2 best relievers in baseball against a talented Toronto lineup who needs 5 to keep their divisional hopes alive. 1 away for Rowdy Tellez. This one high, deep into right field, and it is caught! What a catch by Elliot Ramos as he jumps up, showing off the bunnies to make the catch, likely saving an extra base hit. Can we look at that play again? Man, what a play by Elliot Ramos. Incredible hand-eye coordination. He can get up there, showing off the hops. One more look at it again. Just an absolute beauty. Imagine you're in the suite right there under the right field wall, and Elliot Ramos is just right in front of you making a ridiculous catch. That's going to be really cool for the fans under there. The following batter would fly out to center, caught by Xavier Bowman. And man, Baltimore can just taste this victory. They are so close. Carlos Martinez, the former St. Louis Cardinals starter, will enter the ball game here out of the bullpen for Toronto. 2 away for Castellanos. Grounds this one weakly to third. Going to be a tough play for Vlad Guerrero Jr., but he does. So that concludes the 8th inning, 5-0 game. The Orioles cannot let their guard down, though. Remember, earlier in the season, the Blue Jays were up by 5 going into the 9th inning against the Orioles. Baltimore scored 6 runs, all with 2 outs. So they know a talented Toronto lineup can come back, but it's going to be challenging against Edwin Diaz, maybe the most dominant reliever in baseball. Not a save opportunity for Diaz since Baltimore's up by 5 runs, but again, it's better to be safe than sorry in your most important game of the season. 8-9-1 up for the Blue Jays. First is Kevin Biggio, who flies out to right. Elliot Ramos makes the play. The Orioles are now 2 outs away from clinching the American League East. That'll bring up the catcher, Danny Jansen. It's this one high and deep into foul territory, but Elliot Ramos makes another play. Ramos has had quite the defensive showing today. If he keeps playing like this, he's going to start in the playoffs. It's that simple. Final hope is Bichette, who goes down looking like a fool on the outside slider, and there you go. The Baltimore Orioles have clinched the AL East. They clinched the #1 seed in the conference, and the American League playoffs will run through Baltimore here at Camden Yards. What a game, what an end to the season. The Orioles' final 4 games of a regular season were against Toronto, and they won 3 of them, which is really good. If you can beat any team in 3 out of 4 games, it's a success. But Baltimore beating Toronto specifically is especially special with how hard these 2 teams have fought all season. Neither offense was really consistent. It was really a pitcher's duel for the most part, although Toronto's bullpen kind of blew it. And yeah, they definitely should have kept Jordan Montgomery in the game a little bit longer. We had 4 home runs, all within the span of 2 innings. Shedlawn started the rally, and then Kjerstad, Rutschman, and Miller all went deep in the 7th. And the pitching was just flawless. Everybody who pitched performed really well. Very hard-earned victory as we finish for regular season 99-64, and Toronto will host the Houston Astros in the American League wildcard game. We'll talk about that matchup in a second because we will play the winner of that game in the American League DS. But I do want to take a look at the playoff bracket. The Marlins had a game 163 against the Giants, which they won, but they end up losing the wildcard game to the Arizona Diamondbacks 6-4. So the Diamondbacks win the wildcard game. They will play the Dodgers in the first round, where the Braves will end up playing the Cubs in the NL. We're going to simcast the American League wildcard game. I had to user somebody, so I figured I would user Toronto because I wanted to see them win. I want to play the Blue Jays again. Astros currently lead 1-0, and it is again a pitcher's duel. Jack Flaherty and Jose Urquidy are dominating, but Toronto scores 2 in the 6th. Flaherty's still in, and I was pretty much making the decisions here for Toronto. I decided to keep Jack Flaherty in for the 9th inning, and that decision proved to be a success. If you've enjoyed these past couple episodes of us playing the Toronto Blue Jays, you're in luck because we're going to be facing off against them in the ALDS. They win the wild card game 2-1 in a pitcher's duel over the Houston Astros. Jack Flaherty throws a complete game, only allowing 1 run in the first inning. Strong performance from Jose Urquidy, but he will get the loss. So that concludes today's episode. Next time, we will start the ALDS games 1 and 2 at home against the Toronto Blue Jays. Hey, if we can win 3 out of 4 once again like we did at the end of this season, that'd be really nice. But you guys are going to have to see what happens for yourselves. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're excited for our playoff matchup against the Blue Jays. Peace out.